Welcome to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs. Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. A little emergency pod tonight, guys. Coach Hatcher fired. 11 seasons, 3 good ones, and a lot of bad ones. Where do we go from here, I think is the question. But first, guys, Hatcher's legacy. Obviously, this season was terrible. He gave us the best season in program history in 22 that we should not forget. But overall thoughts, Hatcher's tenure.
I mean, I'm kind of not surprised, but am surprised they did it now with 2 games left in the season. I would have thought Samford, they would have just waited for the end of the season. Not that that matters or anything when you're going to finish 1-11, but he finished 62-59 over 11 seasons. He's the winningest coach of program history. But in the past 2 seasons, like you mentioned, Sam, since 2022, Samford has gone 5-16. In the past 2 seasons, 24-25. And just the offense has gone downhill. We've talked about all year about the offensive points regression. They scored 14 points against ETSU on Saturday, which was the most they scored at home all year in Big 5 home games. So just think of saying that sentence 5 years ago when it comes to this offense. But yeah, it's the regression of the offense, the defense not obviously be on the field a lot in the offense. It's mainly an offensive problem that has led to this. But yeah.
Well, I think an offensive problem because in the 11 years we never had a complete team. So that's one of that. It exacerbated the issue. Jeb?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to miss Hatch Attack. I'm not going to miss great at. But no, I mean, it's been heading this way. Grant, what is it? 64-59 overall as Samford head coach, and that's the best coach we've ever had.
Most
62-59 over.
Not best winning percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, that says a lot. Like, we know that this was kind of maybe coming, but I wish, Chris Hatcher the best, and he's a great coach, great man, great man for these boys on the teams, we've had over the years. And I think, the entire staff and the university would say that he represents, representing the university's values and our, who the university is well in his tenure. But yeah, it's just, change happens. So here we go.
Yeah. That was always the constant. Anytime we had a player on here, everybody talked about how awesome Coach Hatch was as a person. Mike?
Yeah, just to echo what you all said. It's unfortunate kind of the way the program is moved the last couple of years, really since the Michael Hires season, and SoCon championship. I mean, it was inevitable at this point. Like, we're barely even fielding a football team this season, right? It's hard to watch. Like Jeb said, could have asked for a better coach to represent Samford in his character and just the way that he led that program. Sam, you mentioned, what will his legacy be? I still think that he'll go down as a highly regarded, Samford football coach, especially when you think about the highs. Like, think about the Michael Hires season. Think about Duck Hodges, Liam, like some of the great quarterbacks that he had, some of the great offenses he had. There's been a lot of fun. So even though the last few years have been pretty bad, and there were some bad seasons that kind of scattered in there, I think overall, hashtag was a fun brand of offense until it wasn't. So I'm very thankful for the ups that we did have. Really going back to we were there when he was hired, so it's kind of crazy that he's been around that long. It's a good run.
It is. And what's, going back to when he was hired, it felt like there was some early momentum, right? Like 6-5 the first year, 7-5 the second year, playoff appearance, 8-4, tied for second in the SoCon that third year. And then it was just downhill until 22, which is a clear aberration, where we go 11-2, undefeated in conference play, best season in our lifetime. And then 6-5, 4-7, and then we will go 1 win this season. So not a whole lot of grade in that, a lot of average. But again, at a school like Samford and a conference like the SoCon, usually there's a 2-bid league. You don't have to win 10 games to go to the playoffs. So we were always flirting in the hunt, so to speak. most of
We
those
did get to
seasons.
go up and play North Dakota.
Yeah, no, that was
So
the pinnacle. I think
Yeah, and
the portal era, the NIL era, probably not suited. Well, clearly not suited for his recruiting strategy, scheme, whatnot. Because we have talent, but not enough, and we've whiffed in a lot of key areas, mainly the offensive line, and then the defense was just never that good. Even when we had, like, he had in his first couple of years, Michael Pierce and James Bradbury, and the defenses were still not good. And he never fixed that. So
yeah, and yeah, in 2022, even with the offense, like how good it was, the defense had a lot of turnover luck too. They were like play red zone roulette. If they get inside the 5 yard, they're stop them or get a field goal,
yeah,
and they had a lot of turnovers that year. And to that point, if Samford wanted to be good at football, here's what Beck told us over the summer when we had him on this podcast. You can go back and look at it. Obviously, we've got to be good at football. I'm a big football fan, and Samford's got an interesting story in football and its history. But I think certainly now, I think our fans expect and deserve a good product on the football field, and we're all in on that. Football is certainly our biggest investment. If you all in terms of resources, we just want to put a quality product on the field. So you have a sense ever he stepped on campus and how his influence on sports has like transcended the university basically and pushing sports to be the avenue for university. You can see why he, without knowing any inside info, he would be a big time factor about, okay, we need to make a change because this is not where I want my university to look like, especially with the way every other sport has succeeded. Soccer won their SoCon title today, back to back appearances in the tourney. So you can think of that too, especially why making the move now. Beck was obviously a huge part in that.
and we will touch on soccer way more in the regular episode that we'll drop on Wednesday. But tonight primarily focused on Hatcher. But shout out to the Lady Bulldogs, back to back SoCon tournament champs. Let's go. But boys, Hatcher, if it wasn't for the 22 season, that was probably going to be his last season to begin with.
Yeah.
And then he gets the extension, and it's just crazy how fast things can change. After that season, in the off season, before the extension, we're sitting there kind of wringing our hands. Is he going to be the OC at Auburn? Like, what's going to happen? Is someone going to poach him? And now where it's like, this is the most exciting part of the season. Is Hatcher's gone, and we have something to look forward to. Because this season's been terrible. Last season was terrible. The West Georgia game last year, first ever FCS Division One game, and they beat us. And it's just like, something's coming off the tracks.
Yeah, and to that back point, here's Samford's VP AD, Mark Newton, in the statement. Coach Hatcher has always represented the university and our football program with dignity and class. We've enjoyed some incredible moments on the field together with our success on the field and in the classroom. However, the results on the field the last few seasons have not met our expectations. And it's time to go in a different direction. I wish Chris and his family all the best, and we're appreciative of his hard work. So
I'm just excited we don't have to hear about being ultimate anymore, because I just want a winner. I think 7-8 wins should be the expectation. You don't have to make the playoff every year, but my God, we need to have some consequential games in conference come November, especially for homecoming or family weekend. And so we just get blown out, and that's crazy.
What was it he said before season, I guess a couple of years ago when we were at
Our goal is to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, and it was something like if that's a
That's a
2-win
one-win team.
team,
That's a
and that's
one-win
the
team.
best
Oh
version of
yeah,
ourselves that we can
yep.
be.
Yeah, that's not the mindset this next coach needs to have, which I guess leads us to the inevitable. Who are we going to go after?
There's
How do you
another
even
coach
come
that
up
got
with a
fired at
list at
State.
this level?
I don't know.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin?
Mike. To that point, I feel more comfortable in the basketball search because you can obviously narrow that down more. It's like football. It's like who knows where they can go. We can throw out 15 names, and it could be the 16th guy we didn't even name. Like football is just like you don't know where you can go. High school, you can go ops coordinator, like Sam talked about before we started recording. You just don't know until you find out, basically.
So many avenues: D3, D2, JUCO, coordinator, head coach, high school, which is good, right? But also a little risky.
Well, I mean, you probably have to go, outside of the Sanford family, outside of the state of Alabama.
Maybe.
I mean, like who? Well,
Yeah, for the most
Kelsey
part.
Pope, maybe like
I mean,
Kelsey Pope, the Tennessee wide
That
receiver
would be
coach.
sweet.
Kelsey
yeah,
Pope,
I
Russ
don't know if he's
Callaway.
ready to be a head
I don't
coach.
know
That's
about
that's a stretch.
Yeah, Russ Callaway was on Hatch's staff. He's on
Fabian
Ford's staff. He's
Truss.
going to be needing a job.
He will be needing a job. I think you go high school football coach, a younger, not young, but a younger high school football coach. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to succeed at Samford, you're going to have to rely on a lot of in-state talent. And who better knows that ground than a current high school coach? And
It's a
let's
good
be
angle.
honest, jumping to the FCS is not it's not like you're going to the dang NFL from a scheme standpoint. A little more
But I mean,
involved.
Yeah, but it would be a better jump if you were coming from like Texas high school football to FCS than like
yeah, does that happen? Like, do
some
you
other.
hire straight?
Go ahead,
I
Mike.
know you hire. It's pretty common to hire a high school coach, like a high school head coach, to like an OC role. But how often is a high school coach hired directly into an FCS head coaching position?
It's a great
We've
question.
talked
I
about
don't.
this, and outside
We
of
have
basketball,
recently.
it
I just
happens
don't
all the
remember.
time. Basketball seems to be the only sport that it doesn't, and I don't. Maybe because there's 1,000 colleges playing basketball, right? But in the football world, it happens all the time. I mean, it happens on the big stage, especially at OC. Like I would argue going from like the Gus Malzahn train.
That's
Like
right.
if you
Yeah.
go from high school to SEC OC, way bigger jump than high school to SoCon FCS. We're not in the big sky. We're not in the Missouri Valley. Like this, the conference was wide open this year. Mercer and Western look like the clear cut favorites, but Mercer's not the juggernaut they were last year.
But you're gonna trust a high school coach with no college experience to handle a budget and recruiting and like all of that?
That's
It
already
worked
happening
one
in
time,
high school.
Michael.
The modern high school game.
It worked one time. Now he's the coach at Texas A&M.
Yeah, he doesn't coach for us anymore. Let's be real. He was recruiting in high school. He had experience in
No,
that.
that's
in
the
that
thing,
world.
Mike. Nowadays, NIL is in high school. Recruiting has hit high school full-fledged, more than just having the condo that the boosters own where you get the star quarterback to live in. I think it's a little
There are
more
no
akin.
Macauleys and Baylors in the state of Alabama, Sam.
They're
Go
all
Friday Night
public.
Lights.
It's a
for
different
mailbox.
world down there.
It's even easier.
But we just got to have a mailbox Friday Night Lights edition. You just got to have a
Yeah.
mailbox. Who cares if the house is
Right.
there?
So,
That's right.
So when do we think there's? We're
Could
not
be
going to have a
anybody
head
here,
coach,
you
and
can
a
fix
new
worse.
head coach announcement till the season's over, right? Obviously.
I don't know.
Probably not.
That was my next question is why now? Like he's been so bad all season.
Because
Why do you fire him 2
you
games?
have to show that you're invested in the football program, that you care about the football program. If nothing else, it's just a statement from the administration to the next coach saying, "Hey, we care about winning. We want to win. This is not acceptable, and so we ended it today." And we got blown out on homecoming to a mid ETSU team. I mean,
Jacoby
give me a
Criswell, a good
break.
player. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless he's got some of like I guess you start the interviewing process now, but
Yeah, it really doesn't.
why not give Hatcher the dignity of 2 more weeks and then say, all right, see ya.
I mean, not to be harsh, but my God, the guy's milked Samford for 11 years and given us one really fun season.
So fire him 6
So-
weeks ago when we realized
He
that
should
we were
have
gonna suck this year.
resigned.
All right, Mike McDaniel.
Jimbo Fisher. Lane
No.
Kiffin.
Jimbo, yeah.
Aaron.
Lane, yeah.
Oh yeah, Aaron Glenn or Chris Hatcher. He
Okay.
needs to be fired.
Aaron
Brian
Glenn.
Dable, yeah.
Help me there.
And Brian
The
The
Dable,
Jets coach.
the Jets head coach. He's like in his first or second year, so it's
They've already said he's coming back, so
yeah.
This is only his first year, right?
Yeah, so maybe that's not a good one, but at least Mike McDaniels.
Okay, in y'all's dream world, you want a high school coach, an FCS head coach, an FCS coordinator, or an FBS coordinator?
I want Nick Saban.
Yes.
I mean, FBS coordinator would be ideal, but I mean, that's depending what kind of level that is, that's a pay decrease from their current position.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Unless it's like Alex Mortensen, who's the interim coach at UAB, he wants to be head coach, he can come down. Bill Clark was retired. He could be a name there if he wants to get back into coaching. So I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer, but I think to Mike's point, I think ideally you would want to have a coach with some collegiate experience.
Watch it be
I'd
like
say
a coordinator at Baylor or something. Because
Art Briles?
No, we're not even putting. No, Mike, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I prefer an FCS head coach if we could find a lower level FCS school,
Yeah.
like kind of like Mercer's done.
Well, he
Yep.
came D2.
ETSU did it. Like it's worked out well for those schools. So
Yeah.
it needs
Kendall Briles?
it needs to be someone. Again, we talked about this I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Someone who can navigate the transfer portal stuff, the NIL stuff better, because I think that was a little bit of a blind spot for.
Hugh Freeze? Question mark.
Yeah. Talk about a guy that would really, embody the university's values. Hugh Freeze. The portal, the NIL thing is interesting. I don't think Samford's going to commit the same amount of money as a UTC, which is fine. In football, I think you can get away with it at our level. At the top of the top, I don't think you can. I think you got to spend the money. But there's so many guys that can squat, 600, 700 pounds and run a 4.640. You don't need a 4.3. You can find 1,000 guys that run a 4.640. So there's just way more applicable talent at our level that can be found on the cheap. You just got to know a guy who knows where to go get them, which is why the high school ranks make sense from that standpoint, not necessarily from the budget and the organization standpoint, to y'all's point.
it'll be interesting to see who we hire and if that says anything about what we're investing
I think
into the program. I mean, nobody's going to jump ship to come to Samford if we're not putting the money that needs to be there.
Maybe Jason Martin from Presbyterian.
So
He's the
we don't
offensive
want him,
coordinator.
Chip. I looked at his, because that was like a thought, right? A non-scholarship program. This is his Hatcher's 22 season. He is a 500 career head coach, been a long time head coach. No, we don't want to go down that trail.
Does Ty Simpson's dad want to move from UT Martin?
Yeah,
Now that would be fun.
that'd be a big hire.
That's a splash. I don't know if he'll do that though. He's got a much easier job at UT Martin.
How sick would it be if you got Tennessee Tech's guy? You're coming to the conference, well, screw you. We're just going to take your coach.
Well, yeah. Again, I don't know. They got it rolling right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you kind of want to get a guy. So if you're going to FCS, you want to get a guy that wants to make it big. So you're going to get a younger, hungry. He's here for 2, 3, 4 seasons. We win 1 or 2 conference titles, and then he's out of here, and that's okay. You just have to. With this next hire, I think the only
Does
thing
that
that's
build your
important-
program?
Exactly, is you prove you can be successful here. That's the key.
And then you get an even bigger hire after that.
Yeah, because right now we're the retirement home. We just had a coach go 500 for 11 years. 11 years. I mean, that is insane to think about. Like, what is the standard of Samford football? 500.
That also,
It would. Sorry, Grant.
Banger tailgates.
Hey, we do have good tailgates.
that also
That's
speaks
what it's all about.
that also speaks to Beck coming in and replacing Westmoreland, who did not have the drive for athletics that Beck does as well. So that could have played a factor as well. But
We're going to say, Joe?
It would be really fun, if we got a coach in who could have us competing in the top 25 in FCS like consistently every year. I actually think that would be a lot. I don't think we know how fun that would be, but it could be,
Or
we just never experienced it except for like 1 year. And that was
how about a
kind of fun.
coach that finds an NFL prospect once every 3 years?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, what are those?
even that was really fun, right? Getting Tart
Yeah.
and Bradbury and Pierce and Montrell and all these guys.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've had anybody. I mean, Michael Hires, but other than him, has
It was
anybody
a
even
pretty-
sniffed it?
No, I mean, it was a pretty regular thing that guys would get invited to rookie camps. And now it's
Yeah.
like Noah Martin getting invited to a rookie camp. It's not like
Nathan East.
Nathan East,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah,
Like
those two guys
they're getting invited to rookie camps, but they're not
They're
signing
making
with
the team.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're getting invited to the CFL rookie camps.
Sam, another name that we could mention. He coached at Jacksonville State for a while. He's had some success, including against Samford. Was John Grass. He's currently an offensive analyst at Clemson. He
Interesting.
resigned from Jack State in 2021 with 2 games left to play, and he hasn't been an on-field coach since. But he went 72-26 over his career at Jacksonville State. Was in the midst of 4-5 his last season. He
Hello,
is
Mr. Grass.
57 years old. Would he want to get back into it being a head coach? He'd coached at multiple high schools in the state of Alabama, including Hoover, Spain Park, Oxford, before taking the Jack State job. Could he be a name that could he want to get back and be a head coach again? Is something to look at, an Alabama native as well.
That seems like a potential home
Fits the
run.
bill.
Yeah.
Because unlike what I was just saying about getting a young guy who might want to jump up, this would be the rare situation where they have the in-state connections. They're young enough to have some longevity if they're successful.
So you basically are hiring an A-cup for football.
Yeah, which is
rare.
rare. Like that's the hardest kind of hire, especially in football.
Well, that's what Hatcher was supposed to be, right? I mean,
yeah, but
it's
Hatcher
probably his retirement gig.
But Grant, read that head coaching record at Jack State again for us.
10-2, 13-2, 10-2, 10-2, 9-4, 6-6, 10-3, and then 4-5.
That is
that's
something Hatcher never sniffed at any stop of his career, which is why it's crazy we gave him so much leash.
Graduate from Jack State. Again, there's all these Alabama connections. Again, why was he mutually let go at Jack State in 2021? And again, he's been at Clemson as an offensive analyst since 2022.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. There could be something bad,
Yeah,
but who knows? Probably not. Dabo probably wouldn't have taken him on staff, but
yeah, it's true.
Who knows? I love that, Grant. What a pool. John Grass.
Yeah. Again, to Mike's point, we just don't know. Like basketball, for me at least, was a lot easier to go through. Okay, these are the names that Samford could target. Here's your young candidate with the guy at UAH. Here's your older candidate, relatively, with Acuff, who's 60. But yeah, it's just a matter of what Samford wants to do.
I figured it'd be interesting to have AI chime in on who it thinks could be candidates for the new head coaching position at Samford. So I was going to read that out.
Let's hear it.
First of all, it hallucinated, so I'll say this. It says, Samford has not yet announced a replacement for Chris Hatcher, but several names are circulating as potential candidates for the 2026 head coaching. So Chris Hatcher was fired on November 9, 2025 after a disappointing 1-9 season. It's like, season's not over.
Semantics.
While no official shortlist has been released, Grant, Tom Arth, former Akron and Chattanooga head coach with Southern Conference experience, and Tom Arth, A-R-T-H.
Yeah, I got it, Jeb. Keep going.
Brian Bohannon from Kennesaw State.
Oh yeah, he was let go last year because apparently Kennesaw thought they were going to be really good their first year in the FBS.
We don't want him. They've rebounded nice this year. So I'd say if he was still the coach, but no.
Del McGee, Georgia assistant with deep recruiting ties in the Southeast, could be looking for a head coach opportunity. Will Healy, former Charlotte and Austin Peay head coach, young, energetic, and familiar with the region. I thought about coaches from Charlotte.
Could be a bounce back.
Healy just beat us by 25 at home on homecoming, so I don't know if Healy would be making the jump.
Pete Lembo. It's just funny.
These are some names.
It is pretty good, right? Because, again, you have like a whole pool of coaches all over the country, and you're like, how do you even sift through that and figure out who's the right guy? South Carolina associate head coach with prior head coaching stints at Ball State and Elon. So Pete Lembo. And then... You guys are going to love this. Freddie Kitchens, Alabama native, and former NFL head coach, recently involved in college football as an analyst.
Not
I
gonna
think
lie,
I think AI is definitely
would not hate
hallucinating.
that.
I don't know. Carolina's won a couple games in the last couple weeks. Who knows?
Freddie's a little too young though to settle.
So it says what Samford might prioritize: Southern ties and recruiting connections in Alabama and Georgia. I think we kind of talked about that. FCS or Group of Five experience. Michael talked about that. Offensive innovation. Definitely talked about that. And then program culture and player development. Interesting
Has it, ju-
response there from
Yeah, that's
AI.
fun.
has it just been listening to us the whole time? Is that where that came from? Besides the names, obviously.
No, how long do you think it takes to hire somebody?
That's I
It's gonna
just
take
don't
a-
know. If you're going high school, it's going to be pretty quick, considering Alabama high school playoffs have already started. So potentially your coach is already chilling at the beach. If you go
If he's still at the
FCS,
beach, do we want him?
well,
We're gonna hire a non-playoff high school coach to be the head coach at Samford.
we're already in the second and going into the second round here.
Well, I'm kind of liking the Freddie. I really, I like the Freddie
If that
Kitchens idea.
happened,
I think
how
that's
can
pretty
you
good.
complain?
I'm not complaining about that. He's from Alabama, right?
He
Comes
had a
back
fun
to his
run with
home
the
state.
Browns. They ran him out of town pretty quick.
over under December 5th, Friday, December 5th. Does Samford have a coach before then or after that?
That feels
Because
right.
the season ends on the 22nd November.
I would say
So
under.
that gives you a week.
Yeah, I'll take. Yeah,
I mean, if
I'll take the over.
if Martin doesn't have a list of names lined up already, then
That's fair.
Well, he does.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's had 2 years to start thinking about this one, you know?
He's had
Yeah,
his
that's
whole
fair.
tenure to start thinking about this.
He's
one.
gonna listen
Yeah,
to the
that's fair.
pod and give Freddie Kitchens a call. He's gonna do.
I mean, look though, would we hate Jimbo?
Obviously.
I think a character standpoint would come into question. But outside of that, it would certainly bring excitement, notoriety.
I don't think that's happening though. We talked
Yeah,
about
just hope-
that. I don't think
We'd
it's
have to hope
happening.
all the other jobs dry up and he doesn't get a crack. Where he's
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'll just go to Samford.
I don't think
'cause-
he's going to get a crack at anything good. So
There's a lot out there right now.
Yeah,
So
there
who
is.
cares
That's
about
true.
good? There's just a lot. Yeah.
That's true. Petrino did snake his way back in, so I guess I shouldn't say that. Jimbo might get a shot.
Maybe our green and gold friends downtown might go that
No,
direction.
they don't need to go 0 for 2 on coaching hires.
New era.
Exactly. Another new era. 2 basketball coaching changes that followed up by a football coaching change, or technically softball and then both basketball and football. So yeah, there you go.
kind of exciting.
It is. I was pretty pumped.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it would happen now, as we talked about off the top, but I think this is, as I think Mike said, this is the direction that we thought it was going to end up happening. Just didn't know if they would pull the trigger or not, and they did. Even he just had 1 year, not 2
I
years,
don't
1
think-
year left on his contract.
I
So
don't think
know.
any of us thought they were going to pull the trigger.
I mean, I thought
That's the point. Is like why they waited this long? We kind of just thought, all right, we're stuck with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't know if you
That's
could have
why
brought
I
him back
love it.
after 1-11, but yeah, there you go. So,
That's why, like, I'm excited not that Hatcher got fired, obviously, but the fact that the administration was like, hey, we don't like losing, and we're
Right.
going to do something about it. That's what's exciting.
I think. Yeah,
I'm
that's
just excited because it's something different. Because the last 3 years
Exactly.
we've kind of just expected the same. Like
mhm.
really had no positive expectations heading into the football season.
No,
But
we
next
said
year
we're
is
going to
gonna be
win
really
3
fun
games.
because it's same with Lenny Acuff basketball season starting off. Just a lot of fun to figure out the new names, figure out how they play.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah,
and we'll
good
definitely
one,
be
Enzo.
talking about basketball on Wednesday. But all right, boys, Hatcher era officially over. 11-9-25. Mark it down. Noonan gets his first crack at hiring a football coach at Samford. He's got a pretty good recent track record of hires, so everybody stay tuned for any kind of news that may come quick, hopefully before December 4th. But State of the Bulldogs is out. So is Hatcher. Let's go, Lady Bulldogs. And basketball. Let's keep it rolling.